We're back on the record at 1:27.
Okay.
Want me to read that one first?
It's the same as that.
Oh, it's the same
yeah.
as that one?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I've handed you Exhibit 84, and you'll see that it's a news article from October of 2007,
Yes.
and it concerns flooding in Driftwood. You see that, of course.
Yes.
Right. Now, it comes from it's the printed version of a news cast,
Right.
of which I have right here. We're going to look at this a second.
And is this part of the record already? This newscast we're watching?
It's not, but we'll
Okay.
go ahead and make it. All right, we'll go ahead and call this exhibit the next one in sequence, which is 638.
I have several neighbors that their yards are totally flooded right now.
Are greeted with water-filled ditches, flooded yards. Finally starts to clear up.
I'll take it to the beginning here.
Is that the date on it? October 19th, 2007?
That's the date on it.
Is that the broadcast date?
Yesterday's storms have
As
caused
far as I
many
know,
problems
it
that
corresponds
can
to
handle,
that.
but one of the main issues, even as the rain is dying down, is flooding. That's especially true in South Walton County. As News Channel 7's Elise Molstead tells us, the heavy rain made one neighborhood's drainage issues rise to the surface. While sopping wet conditions may be good for some creatures, to Driftwood Estates residents, the condition is harrowing. For people trying to enter Driftwood Estates, they must first plow through at least 5 inches of running water. Once inside, the neighborhood visitors are greeted with water-filled ditches, flooded yards, overflowing retainer ponds, and puddle-filled roads.
I have several neighbors that their yards are totally flooded right now. Cannot even hardly get out of their houses.
Kish and several other Driftwood Estates homeowners have been trying to get the drainage problems of Driftwood Estates fixed for the past several years. Kish says he feels like the county has abandoned Driftwood Estates homeowners.
They do not want to address the issue. They've totally sold us out. I just think it's such poor county management that it's criminal, in my opinion.
But Driftwood residents aren't the only ones feeling abandoned. Are greeted with water-filled ditches, flooded yards.
I'm going to back it up because the audio and video were not synced. So I'll take it from
Overflowing retainer ponds and puddle-filled roads.
I have several neighbors that their yards are totally flooded right now. Cannot even hardly get out of their houses.
Kish and several other Driftwood Estates homeowners have been trying to get the drainage problems of Driftwood Estates fixed for the past several years. Kish says he feels like the county has abandoned Driftwood Estates homeowners.
They do not want to address the issue. They've totally sold us out. I just think it's such poor county management that it's criminal, in my opinion.
But Driftwood residents aren't the only ones feeling abandoned. Homeowners along Buck Road just south of Driftwood Estates receive much of the runoff from the development.
I mean, apparently the people who developed these homes and maybe own some development, apparently they have no liability or don't think they have any liability, so they've kind of just abandoned us, or so it seems.
But the floodwaters don't just travel down to Buck Road. It flows through these drain pipes under Sandestin and then to the bay. Just last Friday, I was standing in this same exact spot talking to the Buffet family about the problems their home is facing due to the drainage problems of Driftwood Estates. And now, just one good rain and 1 week later, it seems as though those drainage problems are valid. And that worries Driftwood homeowners.
But as you can see, if we get any more rain here, I'm afraid that this water is just going to keep moving on up, and eventually my house will be underwater, and or it'll start taking on water.
In Santa Rosa Beach, Elise Molstead, News Channel 7. On Thursday, 4 Driftwood Estates residents filed a lawsuit in Walton County against Olson and Associates, Intrawest Sandestin Company, North Tip Development, Adams Homes of Northwest Florida, and Campbell Engineering Incorporated on counts of negligence, breach of contract, and nuisance. But while we haven't gotten
Okay. Now, the lawsuit that she referred to at the end is this lawsuit. Right. So, as you can tell, it's been going on since October of 2007. Now, first of all, the conditions that were depicted in the video of the flooding in Driftwood, have you ever seen those before?
I cannot say with absolute certainty. I'd say if they were brought to the commission meeting by Mr. Osborne, then I probably have.
Right.
I don't, to tell you I saw it on television, probably not, because I don't watch the nightly news.
Have you come to any opinions as to whether the stormwater system, the county stormwater system in Driftwood around the perimeter, is functioning appropriately?
Same.
I'm not sure that, because I am not an engineer, that I would have a valid opinion. You know, I've listened to testimony from a whole lot of people, but I have not personally gone out there and made measurements and studied the storm water. You know, as I stated earlier, there are stormwater problems throughout South Walton.
Right, but you don't ignore them, do you?
No,
Right,
I don't think any of us ignore them, no.
Right, and that's the reason some of them were on the Restore Act project list, right?
If they were submitted, yes. I don't know that they were submitted. Did the owners of Driftwood submit applications? An application to restore?
The stormwater system around the perimeter is the county's system. You remember that?
Yes, but anyone can submit a stormwater project. For example, Muskogee Nation just, submitted a project to help grow gardens to feed, hungry children. Anybody could have submitted a project, and it would have been considered by the Restore Committee. But those recommendations had to come to the board. The board just couldn't pick out projects. They had to come to the board.
All right, tell me how the people in Driftwood Estates could modify the county's roadways and stormwater system with their own project.
I'm saying they could possibly have asked for help or given some ideas or say we need help here.
Okay.
Now,
did you learn?
Or gotten with, I don't know that they got with staff. I do not know. I'm not staff.
Okay. I take it then you didn't know that we offered to provide at our expense all of the engineering work, all of the other expert consultant work to the county so that the county could prepare, as it had committed to do, the BP application. Did you know that?
Object to the form.
I have no personal knowledge of that.
Right. So by getting with the county administrator and the county attorney, that would be an exercise in getting with the staff, correct?
Object to the form.
If that was done. There again, I was not present, so.
All right. At times, have you gotten called by constituents who had, let's say, stormwater problems in their neighborhood, and you come out and look at the conditions?
There are times, yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, when you're out there, do you make an evaluation in exercising your own judgment as to whether what you're looking at warrants any action on your part with regard to asking the county staff to take any action?
If I saw there was water standing in the road, for example, I might ask Stephanie to say, will you make sure that all the culverts are working right, cleaned out? Because a lot of times we have stormwater issues or water issues with say, culverts, for example, that clogged up, weeds and that sort of thing. I ask staff to go out and look and use their judgment. And if things need to be cleaned out and weeds pulled out, well, then I ask them to do it.
All right. the conditions that you just saw in the video that we looked at,
Right.
okay? Would that appear to you to be a stormwater system that's functioning correctly?
Check to the form.
That would, just looking at that, appear to me is that we had a major storm, probably a major storm event.
But you don't know.
But I don't know, but it looked like we had had a major storm event.
Okay.
And in all cases, then you're going to have a lot of standing water until it drains out.
Okay. All right, I'm going to show you. You have Exhibit 84. If you would turn to the second article in it, which is this one. It's entitled Cracked Up. You see that?
First, do you mind?
It's
I don't
not.
have a copy.
Yeah, I do. Go ahead. Here, you can read mine.
Okay, let me read it.
Okay. Let her, please go ahead.
I'm going to
Have
look at it
Yeah.
before my client looks at it.
Linda, that's not necessary. You can read it simultaneously.
Well, if you want to hand me the exhibit that's complete, fine. But you didn't. You handed me 2 pages of 84, and I'm going to look at the rest of 84 right now.
Okay, but your client can go ahead and look at the part of it.
I'm going to see what you've highlighted. If that's
The time
all right.
you're wasting, she could have read it, so let's, okay?
Did you know that a gentleman, do you recall a gentleman named Brian Bethea, whether you remember his name or not, it's important. He came in front of the board, he lived in his Driftwood Estates, and he bought an Adams Homes, and he was the gentleman in the video we saw.
I saw his name.
Okay. And his house had a cracked slab through it. Do you remember him coming to the Board of County Commissioners seeking assistance?
I think vaguely, yes.
Right.
There again, this has been a while.
Right. Now, do you know the results of the county staff investigating the conditions at his home?
I do not.
Right. All right, I'm going to show you Exhibit 596, which is a photo, A, all right, which is a photograph. All right. Do you recognize that that's an aspect of Driftwood Estates?
I do not.
Okay.
Is
If
it
I
dated?
represent to you that it is Driftwood Estates,
Is it dated?
No, it's
Sean?
it is not.
Okay, is there any testimony in the record of when this was taken?
I don't have to authenticate it through my questions to her, Linda. Okay, you know that. Please don't interrupt me.
If you don't know when it's taken, then that's fine.
I do know when it's taken, but I don't know off the top of my head. It's ascertainable, okay? And a witness can testify to it.
Well, if she can identify it. She already said she couldn't identify it.
She doesn't have to. The conditions
Well, then
that
why are you asking me?
The conditions that you see in that photo, right, are from
I see
Driftwood.
water, yes.
I'll represent to you in Driftwood Estates, water
Right.
is covering the roadway, is
Okay.
it not?
It appears to be so.
Right. Is that
Oh,
what
there's
you
a little yellow
observe,
line. That means it must be the road, yeah.
is what you observe appear to you to be a functional stormwater system?
Check to the form.
It appears to me to be water standing in a road probably after a major storm event.
Now, you keep saying probably after a major storm event, but you in fact don't know.
I don't know, but you asked me and I answered you.
All right. Now, I'll show you another photograph. It's 596B. Now, I represent to you that that's also in Driftwood Estates. It's standing water in the road, correct?
Yes.
Does that appear to you to be a functional stormwater system?
Check to the form.
I cannot answer that question. You've given me a picture of a road. This could have been 2 minutes after it stopped raining, or it could have been 2 weeks after it stopped raining. I cannot answer your question not having all the facts in front of me. I'm sorry.
Just take it from what you observe in the photograph, okay? Just limit yourself to what you see. Does that appear to be a stormwater system that's functioning appropriately?
Check to the form, asked and answered.
I can't answer the question.
All right.
I don't know.
All right. Okay, I'm going to hand you Exhibit 598A. Do you recognize the houses on the sides of the road to be in driftwood?
I do not.
Is what you see?
They're in a subdivision. I'll go with you on that.
Is what you see in the photograph appear to you to be a functional stormwater system?
Check to the form.
I'll answer the same way I did before. I don't know.
Okay.
I do
I'll
not know.
represent to you that the area of the roadway where the area of the ditches where you're looking is the aspect of driftwood, it was about 4/10 of a mile, that the county fixed a few years ago. Did you know that the county had performed any work out at driftwood?
On this little stretch right here, I don't know I notice there's not any water in the road, but I see there's water in the ditches. Yes, sir.
The aspect of where the water sits is where the work was that was done by the county.
I will have to take your word for it.
Did you know that the county had performed work out in driftwood on about 4/10 of a mile?
Yes.
Right?
I don't know when you say 4/10 of a mile, I don't know. But I do know they did work out in driftwood, okay?
And does it appear to you, based on that photograph, that the work that the county performed is functioning appropriately?
Check to the form. And again, this is an undated photo.
Yeah. I can't, what was it a percolation system? Was it through pipes? I can't answer that question not knowing what's here. And I'm not an engineer.
All right, I'll give you another photograph. It's 597G. Can you see that it's in the same vicinity of the other photograph that you just looked at?
Same.
Possibly could be. It's got the same mailbox types, but I think they're all up and down that road.
Okay. Now, that one does have a date on it, does it not?
2012.
It has a specific date, does it not? Which is what?
8/10/2012.
All right. Now, does the stormwater system that you see there appear to be functioning appropriately?
Check to the form.
The same I answered before. I do not know. I am not an engineer. I want about every 45 minutes to an hour to take a break. Okay.
All right.
My throat's getting to me.
I'm going to show you two photographs marked as Exhibits 602 and 603.
Alrighty.
You can see from the signage and the posting that they depict the same numbered lot. Can you tell that?
It appears to be so.
All right. Now, how long was driftwood in your district?
As I believe I told you earlier, we had the census in 2010. Then we had to go through the census committee, public committee of redrawing the district lines according to population. And either the end of 2011 or first of 2012, I do not have the exact time. We redistricted in correct English, and I got Driftwood and Sandestin. Cindy Meadows got all of the beach area.
Okay, so it's not when, but how long? It was about 4 years,
I
correct?
think she was trying to answer your question.
Yeah, about last of 2011, 2012.
All right.
It became in my district. Yes.
Did you know that there was a significant development in the interior of Driftwood by a couple hundred lots during the time period when Driftwood Estates was in your district?
Well, it still is in my district.
Okay.
I knew there was building in the interior, if that's what you're asking me.
If you'll look at the photographs I handed you, you see the standing water covering the lot.
I do.
All right. Show you Exhibit 601. Do you see the standing water covering the lot?
I do.
Object to the form.
I do.
All right.
Or I see water it's on the ground.
All right. And does it appear that the lot has been cleared and excavated?
I don't know about excavated. Looks like some of the trees have been taken out.
All right. You know that
Is that
from
still?
a variety of presentations to the board that the area where Driftwood Interior is being built is on federal and state jurisdictional wetlands for the most part. You know that.
Check to the form.
If you tell me, I do.
All right. Before Driftwood was developed, which began to first happen in the mid-90s, had you ever gone up to that area in a way that you recall the conditions up there? What it looked like prior to development?
In the 90s? Is that the question?
In the 90s? I don't
Sure.
think so.
What about in the 80s?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Heath, in the 80s, I was burying people. In the
So-
70s and 90s, I was burying people. You know.
All right. So you have no way of testifying about what the condition in the neighborhood was prior to any development?
No,
there?
I do not.
All right, I'm going to show you some photographs that are part of 606. Can you see it, the gentleman in the blue shirt in the photographs?
Yes.
And these are undated, all of them?
Do you recall these being sent to you, these photographs being sent to you?
I do not specifically recall it, no. I'm not saying they weren't. I'm saying I don't specifically recall it.
When rain events have occurred over the last number of years, do the people in Driftwood frequently send you photographs with emails on email?
Some do, yes.
Right. You look at them.
Yes, I do.
And do you look at them in looking at them, you have some ability to determine what the level of rain was relative to the conditions you see in the photographs, correct?
Check to the form.
I'm not sure. If
Well,
you're asking me if
in the
people send me,
community, right? You live
I
around
don't
here.
live in this community, no.
You live in Walton County.
I live in Walton County. I live in a different part which, you know, has a different topography. Yeah, try to say that 3 times fast.
Right.
But even in my neighborhood, yes, we get water.
Right. The question is, when you get these photographs, you
Yes.
have a contemporaneous ability to try and understand what the rainfall was in the Driftwood area, correct?
Objection. You're assuming she gets them contemporaneously.
Yeah.
Well, at the times that you've gotten emails, have they not been sent the day of or the day after the rain event?
Check to the form.
Sometimes,
Right.
you know.
So you do have the ability to understand what the
I have the ability to
contemporaneous-
look at them and see there's water standing there.
All right. Now, you see this gentleman standing in his
Yes, I do.
in his yard. Appears to be a backyard, correct? Right. The conditions that you observe in these photographs, does that appear to be satisfactory and acceptable to you as a county commissioner for one of your constituents?
Check to the form.
I would be concerned with this gentleman's problem. I would try to get my staff to go out there and look at it and see what they could do to help him. A lot of times we can help people. I have the same problem all the way at the other end of my district where I have seen these problems too. So I try to help people to the best of my ability. I don't know how else to answer your question.
So this would be a circumstance from the photographs that you see that would merit your action?
I would call Stephanie and say, could you
Can we
go
go
out and
off the
see and see
record?
what the problem
Can we go off
is?
the record, Mr. Heath, if you don't mind, would you instruct your
We're going off
client?
record at we're back on the record at 152.
Okay, I'm going to hand you Exhibit 380. 380. You'll see it's an email dated October 22nd, 2007, which is one day after the news article that we just looked at. That's Exhibit 84. You see that?
Yes, I just don't really understand what news articles have got to do with this, but whatever.
If you read, you'll see that the news feature, a news feature, is referenced in the email.
All right, let me read the email. I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
Downfall at Edmonds. Okay, I've read it.
Can you see? They're right. Now, this is from Dave Lovell to others. You see that. You remember earlier we saw that Dave Lovell.
Worked for Olson. Right?
Correct. All right.
Okay.
And so he identifies that he's looked at the conditions in driftwood, correct?
Yes.
All right. And beginning on the third line, he says the perimeter road, Buck Road, and Harbor View, as shown in the segment, were a different story, though. You see that?
I do.
All right. Do you know what Harbor View is?
I know where it is, yes.
All right.
I think
Do you know
pretty
it's,
close to where, yes.
and so you know that it's the point that's the singular access point available to the folks in Driftwood, correct?
Yes. And the rest of the thing says it's pretty obvious that the problems here are for the reason we have been telling them, primarily the dammed up outfall at Edmonds and the ditch driveway culvert configuration.
Right. Would it be a reasonable conclusion that once the county had performed what it thought was sufficient work at the Edmonds outfall in 2010, if the conditions continued in Driftwood, that the Edmonds outfall was not the cause of the conditions?
Object to the form.
I don't think anybody ever said to me that Edmonds was the total, absolute, complete cause, but that it would help if it was opened up and the culvert was fixed. You know, I believe that's the way it was explained to me.
I'll hand you Exhibit 396.
396.
Hand me that.
Two-star ski from Jim Harmon Liabilities.
All right, I'm going to orient you to the document in a moment. You'll see it's in May of 2011.
Okay.
And the subject is Driftwood roadway analysis. You see that?
I see what it says.
All right. And do you recall being contacted by the folks in the Driftwood 2 neighborhood, which is the interior neighborhood, seeking for the county to accept the roadways there?
I don't specifically recall. No, I'm not saying it happened or didn't happen. I don't think at this time I specifically recall it.
I'm going to
You know,
exchange
not
these
saying
with
it
you.
didn't happen.
It's the same exhibit.
Okay.
I'm just exchanging with you. You see it's highlighted. The highlighted portion under asphalt pavement, you see that as the second paragraph.
Yes.
It says in the second line, the areas with broken pavement can be easily remedied, but the areas with extensive cracking require more attention. You see that?
Where's that? Am I just missing it?
Second paragraph, last sentence.
Okay, gotcha. It's not highlighted.
If you'll turn over to the second page, the recommendations. All right. You'll see there, go ahead and read that silently to yourself.
The entire page?
No, I'm sorry, the first
All the
paragraph.
recommendations? Okay. I'll
No,
read-
ma'am. No, ma'am. Just the first paragraph.
Under recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
All right. You see that the recommendation here of the staff is to not accept the roads in the interior of Driftwood.
It says only to maintain the asphalt roadway surface inside of curb to inside curb.
Okay. Now you'll see in paragraph
So,
1.
that sounds like to me they're maintaining the roads.
We'll look at a different aspect in a moment. You
Okay.
see under paragraph 1, it says provide an approved third-party engineering analysis, including geotechnical analysis, of the extensive asphalt cracking located on Loblolly Bay Drive.
I see that.
Okay. Now, so the county staff had determined that it was not going to recommend to the board to accept the roads until this recommendation that we just read, as well as others, were implemented to the satisfaction of the staff.
Object to the form.
Yeah.
You see that?
I don't see that.
All right, if you'll turn over to page 1 then. This paragraph that's highlighted,
I see it was observed on Loblolly Bay Drive, northwest of Harbor Miss Lane.
okay, it
This
says,
cracking presents some serious concerns because of its widespread nature. But that sentence says, we believe that it would be in the county's best interest to only maintain the asphalt roadway surface inside of curb to inside of curb. Being a layman, I'm assuming they're saying, take care of the road.
do you know whether in fact the staff has recommended the acceptance of the roadways in the interior of Driftwood?
Not off the top of my head, no.
And do you know part of the reason that the county has not accepted the infrastructure in the interior of Driftwood is because of the extensive cracking?
I have no personal knowledge, no.
In the course of the presentations to the board over these number of years, do you recall it being presented to the board that the fill that had gone into the interior neighborhood to fill the wetlands was actually consisted of a large amount of muck and insufficient fill? Did you know that?
Object to the form.
I do not recall being told what they were filling it with. If any of those pictures, it looks like more like clay to me, but then I don't know. I mean, it looks red, so I don't think that's muck. But I wasn't there, wasn't present when they did it, so I can't.
My
you know.
question, obviously, I understand you weren't there. The issue is, do you recall hearing the information about the muck?
I don't recall, you know.
All right,
Same.
now we just looked at a gentleman who has a cracked slab of a home that's being built out in the Driftwood 2 area where the wetlands were. And that gentleman came to the board, correct?
If you're saying he did.
All right. And then the county staff has just determined in 2011 that there's extensive cracking in the same area of the roadways in the same area in Driftwood 2. You saw that.
Same.
I see what is written here in this
Right.
document.
And do you know that the county had taken some geotechnical samples of the land around Mr. Bethea's home?
No.
And did you know that the county had concluded that this fill there was improper?
Object to the form.
No.
When's the last time you've gone through the interior of Driftwood?
I went with Stephanie maybe 6 months ago.
Okay.
Maybe less than that. I don't know.
What was your purpose in going?
As I stated to you earlier, I traverse my district, both north and south, on a regular basis.
Okay.
I like riding with my road foreman and seeing.
In going through the neighborhood and the interior aspect, you probably observed that a number of the homes built by Adams Homes, maybe all of them, were built out of stucco. Do you know that?
I don't recall what they were made out of.
Okay. Do you know which aspect of the neighborhood Adams Homes built?
No, I don't.
Right. I mentioned earlier that the county does not have a signed settlement agreement with Adams Homes. Did you know that?
Object. Asked and answered.
Yeah, I think I've answered that before. Not to my personal knowledge, I do not know.
Right. Now, did you know that in this lawsuit, it is Adams Homes' position that it's the county's fault that the stormwater system in Driftwood is not functioning appropriately?
Object to the form.
Do I answer him?
If you know.
I have no idea.
Did you know that the county has a joint defense agreement in this lawsuit with Adams Homes?
I'm not sure I know what a defense agreement is, so
Okay.
I would probably say no.
Have you ever considered, as a commissioner, the concept that the board ought to seek to hold the people who cause the problems in the neighborhood, the developers, responsible to pay the cost for the conditions in the neighborhood?
Object to the form.
Would you repeat his question? I'm sorry, I got lost in there somewhere.
Have you ever considered, as a commissioner, the concept that the board ought to seek to hold the people who cause the problems in the neighborhood, the developers responsible to pay the costs for the conditions of the neighborhood?
No objection.
Same.
And I'm not sure I know how to answer that. I'd probably say there's probably enough blame, if you want to lay blame, I don't know.
Right. It's not necessarily about laying blame. It's about who should be responsible for the repair.
Object to the form.
Well, who do you think should be responsible to address the stormwater problems and the infrastructure problems in the interior of Driftwood?
Same objection.
I think I'll wait for a judge to tell me that.
Okay. So even though it's the county's responsibility, and it's accepted the maintenance responsibilities for the perimeter right-of-ways and stormwater system, let's take
And there's a
let's take it this
difference
way.
between maintenance. You keep on maintenance. Maintenance is pulling weeds, fixing potholes. Maintenance is not digging up a road and rebuilding it. That's repaving, reconstruction. Maintenance is the everyday maintenance of a roadway, not a driveway, sidewalks.
Do you know? Do you know whether or not? Do you have any basis to believe or know the extent to which Walton County has performed maintenance of the perimeter road aspect in Driftwood?
I know that, yes, our road department regularly goes out to Driftwood as well as other neighborhoods and tries to maintain, as I told you earlier, pulling weeds, making sure pipes aren't, busted or sediment in them. That is maintenance, and yes, they do try.
Do you know that Driftwood the infrastructure was put in via an MSBU?
I think I've heard that somewhere.
Right.
Yes,
You
I
know
believe
what-
so, because they were paying for it. I think before I came on the board. The residents out there, I think, were paying as part of their taxes. That's just something I've been told.
Okay.
It's not a partner to it.
All right. So, you know what an MSBU is?
Yes, I do.
You basically said it in that the people who buy out in Driftwood pay an additional tax for the infrastructure that's in their neighborhood.
And they usually
Correct.
hire someone to help, yes.
Okay.
They
do?
Neighborhoods, and maybe I'm incorrect, but MSBU to hire somebody, like there's one recently that wants their dam done, and they're trying to raise money to fix their dam and have somebody fix it, not necessarily the county. I think I'm correct.
So do you
I may be wrong.
do you believe
Haven't
that
been wrong before.
do you believe that it's a responsibility of the people who live out in neighborhood in Driftwood to bear the cost and pay for the infrastructure to remedy their stormwater system?
Not completely, no.
Right.
But ask me who else, I don't know. I mean, isn't it everybody's responsibility, if you especially before you go buy in a neighborhood, to know exactly what you're buying into?
Well,
I know it was
Doesn't it
mine when I
ma-
bought mine and made a mistake.
doesn't it matter as to what the requirements are as a matter of public record for the infrastructure in a neighborhood, that those ought to be enforced by the county?
Check to the form.
I don't know.
Now, you don't know how many people had purchased in Driftwood prior to the development that caused the flooding?
Check
that
to the
fair to
form.
say?
No, I do not.
All right. So for those folks who purchased in Driftwood prior to the development that resulted in the flooding,
Same.
they would have no ability to know that it was going to flood in the future from development. Fair to say?
I don't know that I would necessarily agree with that.
Tell me why not?
I think it would be, and I can only use myself for an example, I think it would be reasonable for me to know that if I was buying a piece of property anywhere close to the bay or the ocean or anything where the tide rises and falls, to know at some point, especially on a peninsula, because it's surrounded by three sides with water, not just one, that there's going to come a time when you might have a water problem. And that's why a lot of houses, say along the Gulf, build up on pilings. So I think it should be perhaps reasonable to expect that you're going to have water. Now that may be just me, because I was born and raised in Florida. Somebody coming from Illinois might not know that.
All right. Do you recall there was a time where the county was asked to intervene in this lawsuit or otherwise sue the developers to hold them responsible for the problems in Driftwood?
Check to the form.
I believe I have heard that. Yes.
Do you think my hands exhibit 638. The title of it is County Eyeing Suit Against Driftwood Developer.
Okay.
See that? You see the date of it is in September of 2008.
It looks like it. There's a
The 18th.
hole in the middle of it. Yeah.
All right. Does that jog your memory that the county was considering, the board was considering
Okay.
filing a lawsuit against the Driftwood developers? The question is, does the title alone remind you of the issue?
No, I'd have to read the article.
Okay. Just stop when you get to the top of the second column.
Okay, I'm not anywhere near there yet.
Just
I'm
the
a
top
slow
of the
reader.
second column.
This is second column. I'm still on the first.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this the wrong number?
This is 638.
I'm getting some valuable instruction from the court reporter.
It is the wrong number. We marked the video as 638. I'm going to mark this
Thank
one
you.
as 639.
Jennifer.
Okay. Now, let me mark what's important for us to talk about. Okay. Just look at the bracketed area. It says County Legal Counsel Mike Burke is to provide input to the commissioners on September 23rd on the possibility of the county joining the other plaintiffs in the lawsuit. You see that?
Okay.
All right. You remember that?
No, I do not.
Okay. Now, if you'll skip down one paragraph. All right, I have bracketed the paragraph we're going to talk about. It reads, "We simply come to the county for relief today," Greater Driftwood Estates spokesman Alan Osborne told the commissioners at the September 9 meeting, and added, "I hope we won't be doing this for another 4 years." He encouraged the commissioners to join the lawsuit and pledged to indemnify the county if the defendants prevailed. You see that?
And Mr. Osborne said he would indemnify the county?
That's the way the article reports
That's the way it reads, okay.
Okay. Do you remember that?
No, sir, I do not.
Do you remember Mr. Osborne coming to the county and seeking for the county to join the lawsuit?
Read the whole article.
Okay, it's going to take a while?
No, that's
Okay.
not necessary.
Well,
The
if you're going to ask
issue
me
is,
questions about it
No,
based on that article,
let me take the
because
article.
you're misrepresenting it. The second paragraph says Osborne doesn't want the county to put funds on it. The second page says that.
The question is, do you remember Mr. Osborne and the folks in Driftwood coming to the county, seeking for the county to join a lawsuit?
Not on, no, sir, no. If you're asking me about that date, him coming, I say I've seen Mr. Osborne a lot. I
Forget the
do-
date. Forget
I-
the date. Just ever.
He could have. He has,
Can I see
he
that
has
document,
spoken
please?
before us a lot of times.
Okay. I'm going to hand you Exhibit 121.
Who is that?
All right. This is an email from Laurie Hobbs to Mike Stang and Sharon Gold. The subject line is County and Driftwood Estates issues.
Okay,
All right, you see that.
I do.
All right. Now, do you know any of those three people?
I know Mike Burke.
Okay.
To my knowledge, I do not know, is it Laurie Hobbs?
Right.
I have met Mike Stange, I believe, and I have met Sharon Gold.
Right. Did you know that Mr. Stange and Ms. Gold were representatives of Sandestin?
Yes.
Okay. And you'll see down at the bottom, Lori Hobbs, the author of the email, is identified as the Director of Public Relations for Sandestin. You see that?
I do.
Okay.
To my knowledge, I've never met her.
All right, the first sentence says, I had a good conversation with County Attorney Mike Burke this morning.
Okay.
See that? Now you recall that Mr. Burke was the county attorney at that time.
Yes, he was.
All right. If you'll go to the third bullet where it says Mike Burke, and it's underlined.
No, that one. That's what he's talking about.
It says Mike Burke asked for Sharon Sandestin to schedule a meeting with him and Ronnie Bell at the earliest convenience to sort through some items as they relate to, quote, compliance, unquote. Right, you see that?
Yes.
All right. Now, you've come to know that the county has, for a number of years, been endeavoring for the Sandestin owners to get their DRI into compliance.
Yes.
Right. Goes on to say, probably a typo, it says, he was the county board to report at its next commission meeting that there is a, quote, meeting scheduled and to help silence Alan Osborne. You see that?
I see that.
Right. Now, have you seen this email before today?
To the best of my knowledge, no. I don't think so.
Right.
Why would I? It wasn't addressed to me.
Well,
I mean, you know.
I understand it wasn't addressed to you at the time.
I don't think I have seen it.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying I haven't. I'm saying it to the best of my knowledge. I don't think so.
Okay. So you don't
Anybody
recall?
in their right mind knows they can't silence Alan. So yeah.
Okay. But nevertheless, there was going to be an effort by the county's attorney to do so. Correct?
Check the phone.
Same.
That's what they're discussing in their email. Don't know.
And so, at this time in 2008, you were the board chairman. Correct?
No.
When did you become?
2010, I think. Wasn't it 10?
We'll look at it in a moment.
Okay. I don't remember now, but I thought it was 10, but maybe not.
All right.
Go back and see when Edmund Outfall was open, and that's when I was chairman.
Now, Ronnie
I'll
Bell
tell you.
at this time was the county administrator, correct?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
And so he's the senior staff member over the entire county
Correct.
staff,
Yeah.
correct? And so he's the person who, on behalf of the staff, reports to the board for how the county conducts its affairs and business, correct?
Yes.
Do you think that it's appropriate for the county administrator and the county attorney to meet with the folks from IntraWest and seek to develop a strategy to silence any citizen in Walton County?
Check to the forum.
I don't think it would be appropriate, no, but I don't know that just because this woman said it makes it so.
All right.
Maybe they were going to, you know, maybe to them they were going to meet about something else because she put it in her email does not make it necessarily so.
Understood. All right. But you've got no reason to believe that she would inaccurately report.
Because I don't know her, I cannot answer that.
Okay.
Can we take a break now? We've been going almost an hour. Ready,
It's
Sarah?
your call.
Yeah, I'll go restroom, thank you.
We're going off the record at 2:21. We're back on the record at 2:35.
Okay, Commissioner Comander, I handed you Exhibit 641.
Yes.
You'll see it's a newspaper article marked at the top, February 5th, 2009.
Okay.
See that?
So I was chair in 2008-9. All righty.
Okay. And you see your picture and
Is that me? Oh,
and others.
lovely. Yes.
Okay. And Commissioner Brannon is seated to your left, correct?
And Kenneth Bridgen, he said, yeah. And Celia Jones. Yeah.
If you look in the second column, I have bracketed a paragraph. If you would look at that, please. It says, also at the January 27 meeting, the commissioners got an update from the residents of Driftwood Estate on long-standing stormwater drainage issues in their Mac Bayou area subdivision. You see that, obviously.
No. Where are you?
Second column,
Right?
the first bracketed aspect. I
Is it-
apologize. Right there.
Okay.
Okay.
You can just read it silently to yourself. Just let me know when you're done.
Handwritten on it is February 5th, 2009.
Okay, you see that, of course.
You asked me to read it.
Not the entire column, just the
Oh, okay.
paragraph. Okay. All right, now, you see that the folks in Driftwood are coming before the board again in February of 2009, or January of 2009.
Yes.
All right? And that it concerns the drainage issue.
Yes.
Again. All right, now, this issue arose, if you recall, in 2005. So this is going on about 4 years that it's been an issue, correct?
Yes.
Now it goes on to say, Driftwood Estates homeowner Alex Kish provided a short history of the problems dating back to 1996. He was critical of recent work by the county aimed at ameliorating drainage problems. Among these measures have been maintenance of ditch flow lines per approved plans and improvement and removal of obstacles from drainage outfall areas. Goes on to say the fix isn't working, it is worse. You see that?
I see, that's what he said, yes.
Okay. So, fair to say that the board was informed in January of 2009 of the view of the people in Driftwood about the sufficiency of the work that the county had performed regarding the stormwater system.
All right.
Fair to say?
We had been informed, is that what you said? Yes, okay.
Okay. It goes on to say a Shipwreck Road homeowner who said she had never had drainage problems before complaining. My front yard is a catastrophe. She told the commissioner she has standing water in new culverts that were placed on both sides. All right. You see that? And it
I see
stops.
that.
Okay. Now, in February '09, you have any recollection of taking any action on this information that came to you?
Well, if you continue to read this article, it says the commissioners directed staff to move forward with getting that easement opened and to work with ditches which had been complained about by residents as being too deep in standing water. Graham agreed to do so and to see if piping could be used to lower the standing water in the ditches. So apparently staff was given direction to come out and go out and take a look at it.
Right, but at this time, it's been identified by the folks in Driftwood that what the county's done thus far, from their view, isn't working.
From their view, isn't working.
All right.
It talks about getting the easement open, which was opened.
All right. Why did it take? I mean, the stormwater problems arose in '05. We're in '09. Why did it take 4 years for the county to fix the easement issue?
Object to the form.
You're talking about Edmund's easement?
If that's what's being referred to, yes,
I'm
ma'am.
assuming that's what's, what happens to you when you assume, but I'm assuming they're talking about Edmund's outfall, Edmund's easement. If that's what they're referring to. The Edmonds were suing the county because they did not want us to open the easement, even though it was the county's, because they had kind of built around it and I don't know what all, but they had constructed some stuff around it, and the Edmonds did not want the county to open it. So they had filed against us.
Do you know the
to the best of my ability.
Do you know the ultimate resolution of that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and what is that?
And I was chair, and we were having a storm event coming in this direction. And I met out at the EOC with Matt Douglas, who was at that time our emergency management director.
Let me refocus my question in case you're answering. So you're answering what I've asked.
You're asking me about Edmund's outfall.
Yeah, the resolution in terms of, well, let me ask this way. Do you know that the county paid the Edmonds about $30,000 for the outfall?
Eventually, yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it took, up to this point, about 4 or 5 years for the county to ultimately buy an easement for about $30,000 that the county believed was a problem and was causing and contributing to the flooding problems in Driftwood.
Check to the form.
I do not. It's my understanding that the Edmonds didn't actually own it. They had encroached on it, and to get them to pretty much go away, because they had, I think, were suing us for some reason. I do not know why. I wasn't the lawyer at the time. That the county actually just gave them $30,000. We went out and opened the easement because a storm event was coming, and I asked Matt Douglas if he had some safety concerns. It was a way of getting the outfall open for the people in Driftwood. He said yes, and we opened the outfall.
Okay. All right,
On my direction.
So safety concerns caused you to take prompt action.
It was a way for me to get done what I needed to get done, yes.
All right. Let me hand you Exhibit 445.
You know.
You've probably seen this document before. It's a newspaper article. 445.
Sean, which one was 640?
I couldn't tell you.
Did we skip 640?
Can I look at 641? Yeah, here's 641. I don't have any exhibits there.
Okay. Commissioner Comander, you've seen this article before I hand it to you.
Yes, I have.
All right. Now, the article's entitled BCC Takes Stand Against Resident Osborne. You see that?
I see what the article says. Yeah.
All right. And do you think that's a mischaracterization?
Same.
I don't think it's totally accurate, no.
All right. You see in the photograph, you can probably see yourself and Mr. Osborne. You see that?
If I had a magnifying glass, I see Mr. Osborne. I could probably see myself.
Now, this is referring to the April 28th regular BCC meeting. You see that?
If that's what it said, yes.
Right. It indicates that Osborne was on the agenda to address the board. You see that the article states that.
Yes.
All right. You have any reason to believe that that's not accurate?
I would have to see the agenda, but I will assume it's accurate.
Okay. Then it says, before he could speak, Sarah Comander, Commission Chair, said, "You came before this board with severe allegations at the last meeting, and that will not happen again. You have channels to take your concerns to the Ethics Commission."
That's
Right,
correct.
you've seen that. All right. Is that a fair characterization of what you said?
Very close to it, probably.
All right. Would you modify it in any way to be more accurate as to what you said at the time?
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Can you rephrase?
Strike the question. All right. It says at the beginning, you said this before Mr. Osborne spoke, correct?
I don't remember. I'm assuming I did, but
Right. But you have no reason to believe the article's inaccurate as to that
it's
point.
probably accurate.
All right. So, what is it? Well, look at the next line of the article says, "Commander dismissed Osborne and the meeting moved forward." You see that?
That isn't correct.
All right. What's
And move
inaccurate?
forward. Let's go back to the beginning if you want me to answer this question. Mr. Osborne had come before us at the meeting before in South Walton and had accused Commissioner Brannon and Commissioner Jones of illegal activity doing things that weren't right, of breaking, taking money, he had accused them of a number of things. We broke at that meeting, brought the gavel down because it became very heated and out of control. So at the next meeting, as per our policies at the time, you've got to remember when this was. This is before the legislature passed some of their new laws, but according to our policies, the commission did not have to let someone bring something up again that had been done in a meeting before or whatever, and we decided not to vote or pass on. I did tell Mr. Osborne, correct, we're not going to accuse anybody of any wrongdoing. If you truly think somebody did something wrong, then there's either the Ethics Commission or there's the state's attorney's office. I do not believe the county commission meeting is a place to do that. If you have proof, then take it to someone other than this. And at that same meeting, I am the one that brought out and said, let's get a mediator to help, which I thought was helping Mr. Osborne at the time. Let's get a mediator to come in here and look at it, and so we can move forward. So I'm the one that asked for a mediator to come and look at this mess.
Okay. And to pick up that point, you intended for the process to be used regarding the driftwood issue for the mediator to be the methodology for the county to proceed. Is that correct?
I wanted a mediator to come in, and he worked, I believe, with Mr. Osborne and his people. They worked with ours to, let's look at everything. Okay. Not just one or two, but everything, and give his recommendation. All right. And he gave some recommendations for the county, and he gave some recommendations for the other people within the suit. But that was because going back and forth for these number of years apparently hadn't accomplished anything other than name calling.
All right. Now, but you've gotten information from the folks in Driftwood that they've been having these flooding problems for going on 4 years now, right? And that the county's efforts to fix their problem haven't worked. Correct?
Check to the form.
We just looked at that in the previous meeting. All right. Can you understand why the folks in Driftwood might be frustrated after 4 years?
Check to the form.
Yes.
All right. Now, in this case, regarding the meeting, that's the subject of the article. Mm-hmm. All right. Not the prior meeting, but the meeting here where you don't let Mr. Osborne speak. Right. You cut him off before he had spoken about anything, correct?
I don't remember.
Right. The article relates it that way. Do you have any reason to believe that's inaccurate?
I don't have any reason to believe that it's accurate either.
All right. So you didn't know what Mr. Osborne was going to talk about before you did not allow him to speak. Is that true?
Objective form.
I can probably guess it wasn't about the price of tea in China.
All right.
He's come before us every time on Driftwood, so why wouldn't it be the same? Or accusing members of that board of impropriety. So,
now, Mr. Osborne has spoken to the board many times on issues that have nothing to do with Driftwood, correct?
Many times? He probably has.
Right. So in this instance...
I can't recall one. Yes, I can.
But when you cut him off, you didn't know what he was going to talk about, correct?
Check to the form.
I don't know whether I did or not.
Right. Now, the next sentence talks about what you just mentioned. It says, at the April 14th BCC meeting, Osborne accused Commissioner Scott Brannon of unethical conduct and presented documents supporting his position to the board. You see that?
He tried to present them, yes.
Okay. So is it your view that the board didn't accept the information regarding Mr. Brannon's alleged ethical violation?
Yes, because again, that is not the proper venue. I have no right, it is not within my power to judge another county commissioner. It is not within my power to say you've done right, wrong, black, or blue.
All right, now.
That is not within my power.
But it is within the power of a particular commissioner, the authority, to make a determination as to whether he or she should recuse themselves from future votes because of a potential conflict of interest, correct?
That is up to that person, yes.
It is. All right, but information that comes to the board at a board meeting may be relevant to the decision of that board member as to whether he or she is going to recuse, correct?
What did he just say?
And would you read it back?
I mean, I know what you said, but I mean, what did you say? Does a board member know when perhaps they feel like, and we can only recuse ourselves if we have a deep feeling that we cannot be unbiased? I may not, say for example, like somebody that comes before me, but that, in Sarah's opinion, has no validity on whether or not I can make a proper decision on that matter.
Nevertheless, when Mr. Osborne brought the issue at the previous meeting, the one previous to the article that we're talking about, Commissioner Brannon did recuse himself from Driftwood and Sandestin issues going forward, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, did you know, all right, that in fact Mr. Osborne had met with Commissioner Brannon a number of months before to inquire as to whether Mr. Brannon had a business relationship with the individual who had invested $7 million in Driftwood? Did you know that?
Not my personal knowledge. The only meeting that I know had to do with a doll's head. That's the only thing that I know that they met about.
All right. Now, does that, and well, I'll represent to you that at the meeting, Commissioner Brannon said that Commissioner Brannon, did not have a business relationship with the individual, C. Wayne Jones, who had invested $7 million in Driftwood, right?
If that's what he said.
Now, does it seem like a reasonable approach to ask a commissioner on facts that, as to whether the person has a relationship or not, before coming to the board about it?
Object to the form.
Are you as confused as I am?
Let me ask it this way. Would you prefer that someone who may have information about a conflict of a board member try to communicate with the board member privately first?
Yes.
Right.
I would think they would.
Right. Do you know, well, you know, in fact, Commissioner Brannon did, in fact, have a business relationship with C. Wayne Jones, who through a company had invested $7 million in Driftwood.
You have told me that. I have no personal direct knowledge. I've never met C. Wayne Jones.
All right. You wouldn't have to meet him to know whether or not that's true.
No idea.
All right. But
I've never looked at, Freeport Industries financial statements, so I wouldn't have any idea.
If it's true, all right, that Mr. Brannon, and he admitted in his response to the Ethics Commission that he in fact had a business relationship with Mr. Jones, right, who had invested $7 million in Driftwood, would you consider that a conflict of interest?
Check form.
That would be Mr. Brannon's decision, not mine.
All right.
I don't know what kind of relationship he had with Mr. Jones. Was he just a partner in some big company that they all had? I don't know the circumstances.
All right.
So it would be to me up to Mr. Brannon to decide whether or not he felt like he should recuse himself. Because all these articles you've been showing me so far tend to make me believe that that Mr. Brannon was trying to help find a solution. So all of it, I mean, that's, well, you can laugh all you want to, Alan, but all these articles have said, that Scott Brandon was trying to help. Maybe he got tired of the harassment and decided, I'm not going to do it anymore. So.
Now, you remember seeing one of the articles?
That's an
Amber alert. I was going to say mine's buzzing.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a bad weather alert. Everybody get under the table.
Hey, that's happened here before. In this room.
Tell me what I said.
All I have is, do you remember seeing one of the?
Got it. Thanks. Remember we saw one of the articles earlier where the newspaper characterized Commissioner Brannon as the most outspoken commissioner against stopping development in the interior driftwood.
And that one did, but then you showed me another one where he said, we want to try to fix it, so,
Right. Now,
perhaps he's a dichotomy.
Do you know that Commissioner Brannon voted 22 times before he recused himself on issues concerning driftwood, and his votes in most every instance were to allow continued construction in driftwood?
Check to the form.
I have no
Okay.
basis for that. I do not have the facts.
Now, when Mr. Osborne went to see Mr. Brannon months before he brought this issue to the board about Mr. Brannon's conflict, do you know that Mr. Brannon told Mr. Osborne not only did he not have a business relationship with C. Wayne Jones, but that he, Mr. Brannon, would never do anything to harm Mr. Jones because he had known him his whole life?
I have no personal knowledge of that.
Objective form. I think we established she doesn't know anything about that conversation, but if you want to keep testifying.
Now, after the meeting, this April 28th, 2009 meeting, that's the subject of the article, right? Were you aware of an effort by MC Davis to schedule a meeting, which in fact occurred, between Commissioner Brannon, his lawyer Clay Atkinson, and Mr. Osborne and others?
No.
Right. Did you know that Mr. Brannon, Commissioner Brannon, called Mr. Osborne after that meeting, pretty upset about what had been brought up at the meeting? Did you know that?
No.
All right. You know that Clay Atkinson is Mr. Brannon's personal attorney and has been for a number of years.
I think actually Clayton is, if you want to get down to specifics, but I know Clay is a personal friend of his, and they have been. And Clay may have represented him at some point. I don't consider it any of my business, actually. I know he and Clay grew up together.
All right. I'm going to hand you Exhibit 566. During the break, you looked at it a little bit.
Okay.
This is what we commonly refer to as Ms. Bradley's 2009 report.
Okay.
What's the number?
566.
But this says Exhibit 147 too, so.
I'll tell you, 566 is an extract from it. 147 is the entire document with all of the exhibits, which is voluminous. Now, you'll see at the top of the document that Miss Renee Bradley is writing to Lynn Hoshihara.
I see it's addressed to Lynn. Let me pull over and see who wrote it. Okay.
If you look down in the bottom left-hand, right-hand
Okay.
corner, it says Renee Bradley, and she testified that she wrote it. Okay.
Right.
And you'll see in the left-hand corner that it has Osborne response to 22409 BCC meeting. And if you look at the first paragraph, She writes, at your request, I have reviewed the materials produced to the clerk at the February 24, 2009 Board of County Commissioners meeting from Alan Osborne, resident of Driftwood Estates.
All
You
right.
see that? All right. So this report being prepared by Ms. Bradley is to evaluate the information that Mr. Osborne has brought to the board.
Okay.
All right. Now, have you seen Ms. Bradley's report here before? It's been a,
The entire report?
well, any portion of it.
I am sure that I have seen portions of it, yes.
And how is it that you're sure? Do you think that, or do you know?
Oh, well, actually, I think I have seen it. If it's about the NOPC, you know, I have. If this is specifically about Driftwood, I can only assume that I have, but I would have to see the report and read it through to be able to tell you with any accuracy.
Right. Do you know one of the issues that has been an issue concerning Driftwood is whether the interior acreage in Driftwood, which is approximately, it's built on, it's approximately 150 acres, is authorized, is even authorized for residential construction. Are you aware of that as an issue?
I am aware that there's been some controversy about that.
Do you know Ms. Bradley's opinion about that?
Not on the top of my head. I'd have to read her stuff and be refreshed. It's been, you know, I spend a lot of time on other issues, Mr. Heath.
Okay.
You know.
If you'll look at page
What in
4. Apologize, it'll quit in a second. If you'll look at page 4,
Page 207, 307.
in the center of the document, a highlighted portion,
Yes.
says, note, the 2003 reconciliation made many changes that were not through the DRI process, nor were these changes approved by West Florida Regional Planning Council, Department of Community Affairs, or Walton County.
Yes.
All right. Now, looking at that, does that remind you that Ms. Bradley has concluded that a number of changes to the Sandestin DRI have never been approved by the appropriate responsible government agencies?
Object to the form.
That is what, if I read it right, is what she is saying here. All right.
And do you know that one of those changes that occurred ostensibly through this 2003 reconciliation was to try to change the open space in Driftwood to residential? Did you know that?
I have heard that.
And did you know that Ms. Bradley has testified that that change from open space to residential in the interior of Driftwood has never been approved through the appropriate legal process?
So I have never been privy to her testimony.
But have you otherwise met with her on staff or otherwise to understand whether or not that contention by the folks in Driftwood was accurate or not?
I have met with Renee concerning the NOPC. There, to me, are about 1,000 moving parts to the Sandestin NOPC. And I try to understand it to the best of my ability.
All right, in this case, in February of 2009, as we looked at, you were the chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, correct?
Yes.
All right, and we looked at the
Until November of 2009.
We looked at the first sentence that indicates that the board had tasked the staff, the first sentence of the document, when we looked at that.
Okay.
Okay, it said the board had tasked the staff with evaluating Mr. Osborne's contentions. You remember seeing that?
Yes.
All right. Now, did you know that the county did not give to the Driftwood folks this report that corroborated Mr. Osborne's and the Driftwood folks' position on the impropriety of the open space change. They didn't give it, the county didn't give it to us until 2012.
Object to the form.
I have no personal knowledge of whether they did or didn't.
All right.
I think
Now-
that would come from staff, and I don't, did I personally hand it to somebody? No. All I
Well-
can speak for is me.
Is it common when the board tasks the staff to prepare information that the staff returns it to the board?
They usually bring it back in a meeting and usually, and present it to the whole board. There's occasion when they come to each one of us individually, but more times than not, they bring us information back in a public meeting so the public can be aware of what's being said and go on.
Okay. Is it your expectation that when the board gives an instruction for the staff to investigate something, that the staff, in fact, performs that task?
It is my expectation, if that's what you ask me.
And is that typically the case in your experience of 10 years being on the board?
More times than not. Sometimes there may be times when they can't, for some reason, perform a task, or they can get so far and can't go any further. But I believe staff does the best they can to try to do what the board asks.
Is it your expectation that the staff members, when tasked with something, will in fact report the information back to the board?
Yeah, yes. But there may be times when they report it back to the county administrator, and then he, brings it to individual board members. It depends on the situation and what's going on.
All right. Putting this in context of Ms. Bradley preparing this report in 2009 that concerned a significant issue to the folks in Driftwood that was tasked to the staff to look into, would you have expected the staff to communicate that to the board members such as yourself?
Yes.
All right. Now, are you aware that one of the requests that the folks in Driftwood have been making since 2005 was for the county to abate construction in the interior of Driftwood so that there would be acreage available to address the stormwater problem?
To answer your question, I do know that a lot of the residents along the exterior of Driftwood did not want any building at all in the interior.
All right.
And their reasons are their own.
All right. So do you recall, or don't you, that a number of people who lived in Driftwood, both interior and exterior, had sought for the county to abate construction, abate the ability for
You want us to do a moratorium, is that what you're asking?
Well, I'm asking you whether those requests occurred for the purpose of evaluating the sufficiency of the stormwater system in order to know whether development should go forward.
That particular question, no. Do I know that they ask that we, put a moratorium on? Yes. Specific reasons why? I could have known the answer in 2009.
All right.
I don't know.
Now, you'll notice the dates on this report down in the bottom right-hand corner. There are 3 dates. One's March 30th. All of them are in 09. One's April 4th. And another is August 11th, 2009. You see that, of course. You see the dates of the document down here.
Oh, okay, yes. All right. Yes.
Okay. Now I'm handing you what we previously looked at as Exhibit 445. If you'll look at the bottom paragraph, please. And then if you would just read that sentence aloud, please.
I spoke with County Attorney Mike Burke prior to doing this. She said, I feel it's time to find a solution. That's why I recommended to the board to hire a special master to review all the issues Osborne has brought before us and find a final solution.
Okay. So it was your intent for all of the driftwood issues to be considered by the special magistrate, correct?
Yes.
And was it your intent that until the special magistrate proceeding had concluded that the driftwood issues not be discussed further in front at Board of County Commission meetings?
Until we could get some definite, yes, you know, because to me, it was spinning our wheels. You can say the same thing over and over and over, and it's not going to get you anywhere until you try to find a solution.
Right. Now,
I'm not saying you can find a solution, but you've got to try, okay?
Now, you remember we looked at the email from September of 2008
That I didn't get, yes, sir?
where, Exhibit 121,
121.
where it includes the line concerning the meeting with Mike Burke and Ronnie Bell, a scheduled meeting, and that one of the objectives was to silence Alan Osborne. You see that?
I see that.
Right. Now, in April of 2008, the board had passed a policy that in fact had silenced Alan Osborne and Driftwood from communications during the Board of County Commission meetings concerning Driftwood.
Object to the form.
You just made a statement. You didn't ask a question.
Isn't that in fact what had occurred by the implementation of your decision that the folks in Driftwood could no longer speak about Driftwood at Board of County Commission meetings?
Object to the form.
This is about finding a solution to Driftwood. Mr. Osborne lives out there along with a number of other people, but it's about Driftwood, not Mr. Osborne.
Okay. But nevertheless, the policy of the board applied to any issues to be discussed by any Driftwood person until the special magistrate proceeding occurred.
I don't believe anybody told Ronnie Bell and Mike Burke to silence Alan Osborne.
Okay, that wasn't the question I asked.
Well, I
Thank
can't
you.
answer your question.
Okay. Jennifer, would you do me a favor and read it back, please? The last
I
question.
don't know what it was.
That exhibit.
But nevertheless, the policy of the board applied to any issues to be discussed by any Driftwood person until the special magistrate proceeding occurred.
That policy had been in place for quite some time, so it wasn't just enacted for Mr. Osborne. That policy was on the books before I ever came on the board. So to say it was specifically done to Mr. Osborne, I think is wrong.
Well, it was applied to any issue concerning Driftwood would no longer be subject of discussion before the board until the special magistrate proceeding had concluded.
Had concluded, and we had some more information than we did at that time.
Right.
Yes, sir.
But that's accurate, is that it applied to discussions about Driftwood.
You're trying to twist my words. I'm saying that it wasn't, that policy was not just about Driftwood. It was about, you know, I wanted to have a special magistrate try to help find some answers.
Okay.
You know?
And,
Maybe I shouldn't have
all right, 629,
Can I say that?
handing you an
Yeah,
exhibit.
maybe I shouldn't have bothered, but I tried.
All right, Exhibit 629 is an email from you,
Okay,
all right, dated May 12, 2009.
okay.
You see that, and the subject is violation of a constitutional guarantee. You see that?
I see that.
Now, if you'll turn over
Yeah, 'cause I
to,
know I've seen that in 100 years.
Give me another copy, Mr. Hand.
If you will turn over to the second page,
Okay.
look at the first page, you'll see who it's from and the date of it.
It was from a Norman Whitbeck. Hadn't you brought his name up before once today? Okay.
If you would silently read all right, his email to you.
The entire, okay, let me start it.
No. Your response is at the top. His email to you is at the bottom. Just read his email and start there.
All right, I read his email.
May I see it a moment? We'll look at it together. All right. Mr. Whitbeck identifies that he lives in the Driftwood neighborhood, does he not?
He does.
All right. And he identifies that Mr. Osborne, at the meeting that is the subject of the newspaper article we were just talking about, was not speaking solely for himself, correct?
That's what he says.
All right. And that he was speaking as a representative of all of the people in the neighborhood. Is that fair to say?
That's what he said.
All right.
I don't know whether it's factual or not. Somebody's buzzing. Oh, it's me. Hold on.
Buzzing?
Now, but that's what Mr. Whitbeck told you, and you've got no reason to believe he would lie, do you?
Object to form.
Don't know him.
All right. And you wrote him back.
I did.
Right.
Tried to be nice.
Linda, may I see that?
Yeah?
Thank you.
If you're going to ask for questions, I need a copy. It's getting smaller. My eyesight's getting worse today. Can we get a copy if you need one?
Yes, you may.
Okay. I mean, do you mind?
I do not.
Okay, great. All right, let's take a quick break and get me a copy if you don't mind.
We're going off the record at 3:18.
Use that one.